Welcome to Depression Recovery Podcast. This podcast is about Mr. Bansal, who went through depression because of a business loss. Mr. Bansal was a successful businessman who had spent years building his empire, and his company, which dealt in the manufacturing of electronic goods, had been thriving for decades. He was known for his sharp business acumen and his ability to make wise decisions. However, life has a way of throwing curveballs when we least expect it. One day, a major financial crisis struck the market, leaving many businesses crippled. Unfortunately, Mr. Bansal's company was not spared, and overnight, his once flourishing business had now begun to crumble. All his suppliers backed out, his orders were cancelled, revenue dried up, and he found himself drowning in debts and facing the possibility of bankruptcy. This catastrophic turn of events took a huge toll on Mr. Bansal's mental health, and he fell into a deep depression consumed by guilt and regret. Each day he felt like there is a dark cloud looming over him and with no silver lining in sight. The weight of his failures had overshadowed every thought of his, and he withdrew from the world around him. He completely isolated himself. He didn't want to speak to anyone. Now, concerned for his well-being, Mr. Bansal's family and his friends tried to intervene. They urged him to seek professional help, but Mr. Bansal was stubborn and prideful, and so he refused. He also didn't want to speak to anyone regarding his condition. He was going through denial. He didn't want to open up about his mental health condition. He believed that he alone was responsible for his misfortunes and that he had to find a way out on his own. Now I hope you are with me in this depression recovery story. Now pay attention to his story and how his life takes a turn. Now one sleepless night, as Mr. Bansal sat in his study surrounded by piles of failed business plans, suddenly there was some idea, some hope that ignited within him. He stumbled upon an article about self-help treatment for depression. He was very fascinated by the thought of self-help. He began researching and discovered a 45-day plan to overcome depression. The plan required Mr. Bansal to dedicate himself wholeheartedly, both mentally and physically. He was exhausted from the relentless battles with his emotions because of depression. So he decided that this is at least worth a try. So from that day onwards, Mr. Bansal started a journey of self-discovery and healing. His plan included regular exercise, guided meditation, writing affirmation, listening to music therapy, and embracing a healthy lifestyle. He began waking up at dawn and going for long walks, allowing the tranquility of nature to soothe his troubled mind. Writing affirmations became Mr. Bansal's favorite part of the treatment. He protected his thoughts by listening and writing affirmations. He let go of the weight that had been burdening him for so long due to his failed business. With each day of writing affirmations by hand, he was also able to gain clarity and perspective, recognizing that failure did not define him as a person. As the days turned into weeks, Mr. Bansal's resilience grew strong. He enrolled in many online courses to sharpen his skills and took on small projects to regain his confidence. He discovered the power of positive affirmations and surrounded himself with uplifting quotes and messages. Slowly but steadily, Mr. Bansal began to rebuild his life. He reached out to old contacts seeking collaborations and partnerships, and his determination caught the attention of a fellow businessman who had once admired Mr. Bansal's work. Recognizing his potential, the businessman offered his support and guidance. Now, with this new hope, Mr. Bansal dusted himself off and got back into the business arena. He focused on adapting to the changing market, embracing new innovations, and learning from his past mistakes. His mental fortitude and perseverance made him a force to be reckoned with once again. Months passed, and Mr. Bansal not only managed to get his business back on track, but he also expanded into new territories. He came to realize that failure was not the end, but rather a stepping stone to success. The road had been very difficult, but it had also been transformative. Now, if you are going through depression, like Mr. Bansal, then do not worry. This depression recovery story of Mr. Bansal is for you to take inspiration from. So start your treatment. Moving on to Mr. Bansal's story. In the end, he had overcome depression and he emerged stronger and wiser. He proved that even in the darkest times, when one is willing to help oneself, then anything is possible. And so, with this renewed purpose, Mr. Bansal continued to chase his dreams, knowing that he had overcome one of life's greatest challenges. Overcoming depression gave him immense confidence to do anything in life. It boosted his self-esteem. You can also come out of depression just like Mr. Bansal did. There is no need to wait now. You can subscribe to the 45 days depression treatment, which is a self-help treatment, and you can start your depression recovery journey. We have also provided free additional resources in the links given below in the description. You can check them out and use them. There is a depression test, there is an online depression forum, and there are multiple resources. Thank you for listening to this depression recovery story. Do like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I pray for your well-being.